things more chill, you know. So Wraith King,
Right.
you know, farm your radiance, go late game.
Right. And also, we'll see how things get going here as we are on our way with game number one, folks. ESL One Raleigh, the group stage, kicking off with Group A. Talon taking on Team Liquid. Liquid, of course, with a stand-in. Nisha unable to join the team. And so instead, we have Bryle standing in on this game for him. It'll be him on the mid lane, Tiny.
Yeah,
Talon
Tiny
playing.
into Mikoto's Ember Spirit. I think this lane should be anyone's lane. You know, it'd be like I don't know if you're gonna see a kill, but probably just trading farm, getting runes and etc. And right now, Talon's trying to be sneaky with this bounty. You know, a position 5 bounty hunter, something you don't see that often, but it's pretty good against Keeper of Light in the lane and in the game
Yeah.
itself.
That physical damage, getting on top of him with the slows and
He's going to
the little mini
steal a rune
stuns.
here, it seems. Let's see.
I think he's got the cooldown for it. I reckon he might be okay.
3 runes for
Actually,
Talon.
they're going to go fight in here a little bit. Insania is going to get out of harm's way. No gush leveled. And so runes will just go 2 apiece then. Nothing too brawl heavy here early.
2 runes apiece. So looking at the lane matchup, so top lane, it's the tie, and bot lane we have the Night Stalker against this Bounty Hunter plus Wraith King lane, double melee. So actually maybe the Night Stalker will be coming out on top here in this lane. Even though the Bounty, he's going to be annoying to the Kotal here, as you can see. He's going to be like just finding him so he doesn't charge the Illuminate. I think in this sort of lanes, do you actually consider getting the blind, although he's already committed with the Illuminate? So
yeah, there's that. This is what you see mostly. I am wondering though,
matchup specific. I was thinking because the bounty is gonna annoy you so much, then you might be considering getting the blinding light. You know, I don't play this hero a lot.
Too good early though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's a very big damage nuke. You know, almost 200 damage at level 1. Helps you secure the range creep and pushes the lane. And in most cases, as a keeper of light, your primary concern is to get levels, right? So you want to do that. And
definitely,
as you can
I
see
think
right now,
what I'm most interested about in the bottom lane is seeing how Boxy deals with the pulls, because I think he's going to try. He's going to struggle basically to stop the bounty from pulling or skipping. We'll see how things are going.
As long as he gets some steals, you know, he's gonna try to steal some of the kills.
That's the strat we've seen mostly, isn't it? As you can see, pretty early pull from Cuckoo. He's gonna stack a wave under Natsumi's tower. Who is a Wraith King? You know, he shouldn't struggle with these CS.
Yeah, he's not a Morphling. You know, I hear like Morphling or Drow Ranger will have a harder time. Wraith King, you'll be fine. Yeah, you don't really have too much trouble, you know. I mean, you have life steal to work with, you know, so as you're in it, so you don't really worry about that too much.
That's very true. That's very true. Mid lane's looking pretty even so far as well. Makoto is 9-1 to the 7-3 right now of Bryle.
It's the boring lane, as we all say.
I think so. Crash landing facet, right? Generally what you see on these mid-tinies.
It's back. Crash landing. Surprised they buff it so quickly, you know, after all the nerfs. And now it's back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Dota's funny like that. It's a straightaway back. And how about top lane, Winter? This is our Windrunner. You know, we talked about this hero just basically securing a lot of lanes on her own strengths. Careful here, Insania. The US trying to find him with a gush.
The best level 1 spell, yeah, power shot.
Playing very well around those trees, though, Insania, making life a little bit difficult for WS.
Yeah, they're trying to contest the Lotus, 15 seconds. But it seems like the wave is going to push, so Mike and Insania, they're going to be able to secure that. Yeah, so
they're going to fight bottom, though, for the rune, and for Lotus, sorry.
Boxy is charging into Illuminate, going to land a big one.
That's a nice one.
Very nice.
Yeah, Cuckoo will stand in and interrupt at least, but I believe Saberlight ought to be able to secure this. Cuckoo's not going to be able to stop it. Good effort, though.
Yeah, it was good, you know. The bounty just trying his best. He knows he can't get it, but he's just trying to annoy them and waste their time so Wraith King can get more last hits in the lane.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan. It's a very good plan.
Oh.
I mean, so far the Wraith King is actually doing really well, you know. 17-1 last hits to 13-3 Night Stalker. I think they are doing A-OK in a double melee against this Kotal Night Stalker.
Yeah, definitely. I do really like Saber's item build, though. He's going to go straight into that Vanguard early. I think this item.
Yeah, you need the Vanguard against the skeletons. I think you have to buy it. If not, you can't stay in the lane. unless you're tied. Where then you
Unless
don't
you're
care.
tied. And even then, tied, he has his bad lanes, like against Mickey here, who is stacking up these Fury swipes, starting to really harass him under the tower.
Yeah, this is not an easy lane once you get level 2. Actually, he has 1-1 now instead of 2 points in Fury swipes, but still the lane is already starting to get tough, but at least, nowadays you get 1 point in Gush. It's not too bad, you can get your boots quickly, gush him and run away. And you have Wind Ranger, so you can fight back easily in the lane. You gush power shot, it's a lot of damage.
So Boxy, by the way, apologies, chat. We this is 2 support players casting, and we're obsessed with this Kato build. He did go for a 1-1-1 at level 3. I think this is the correct move to make almost always in almost any lane. I think having the blinding light is just so valuable.
Yeah, some lanes you can be greedy, 2-0, 2-0-1. But this lane,
Sure.
the blinding light against the bounty, against the skeletons, always very, very nice to have. So yeah, definitely not passing it up. Foxy says he wants to have it in this lane, and the night is going to come to a close soon.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it's always important to see what does the enemy team do. The team playing is Night Stalker. Once the night ends, what can you get accomplished? After that, because the Night Stalker is very, very frail during those couple of minutes. You have to take full advantage of it before he reaches level 6.
They've done very well, though. I mean, Saberlight with 9 denies. He's so far having a small CS lead in this lane. So at least he should be well on his way to a level 6 and has farmed up his full Vanguard. So he is coming along, I would say, pretty swimmingly here. It's going to be a test for him, right, these next few minutes, as we say.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be keeping tabs on rotations, right? Whether the position for the Talon side rotates to gank him or the Ember Spirit rotates to gank him, So this is going to be a good time to put wards down, You need to scout out the runes, you need to scout out the rotations, unless he TPs to in to gank you. That you cannot really see, but you have to anticipate. And you know what they say, Dota is a lot about anticipation, right? Things you can see is always limited, so you need to anticipate your enemy's moves.
Here we go.
6
minute fight.
Let's go, rune fight.
Spawns bottom. It's going to be only an illusion rune that Makoto snags, but he does find Boxy down here. Cuckoo, he's been following him, snipes the courier that had the brown boots, and it's going to be first blood for Makoto, who's starting to really put on the hurt, by the way, on Bryle, just whittling him down with the sleight of fist, Winter.
Yeah, this is what Ember Spirit does to you, in the lane.
It's his bread and butter.
Very, very annoying. And that Burst Blood's going to put him ahead quite nicely. In terms of the network, he's top of the network right now, 3.1k. Not really, ready to move yet. Still gonna stay in the lane for a bit more, but he does not have TP cooldown. He's actually going to make a play onto Brawl. Nice Avalanche, trying to buy some time. He has a Firefighter and a stick. Should be okay.
Yeah, especially underneath the tower. There's just gonna be too much armor there, right?
Yeah, but this is actually a very, very nice time for him to pressure, because he already used his TP scroll just now. So he doesn't have a TP to respond to the side lane. So he at least does the next best thing is to push the enemy mid laner back, so he can't move in that couple of 20 seconds, to actually pressure your other lanes.
He might get punished here. Saberlight's going to give chase as Cuckoo, the attempted thief, trying to steal that Wisdom Shrine.
Oh, they stole the rune? Oh, no, they didn't get it.
No, he still got it. Cuckoo's juking him pretty nicely, though. He's really putting these infused raindrops to use, as he's going to force another sentry.
That's nice.
Boxy, he's got another blinding light here, pushing him back into the waiting arms of the void.
Push back.
It's a kill there.
Pushing him back into the AoE of the sentry, and then they finally get the kill. It was a long chase, but well worth it. Every time you kill a bounty, you kill a Nyx, you kill a Riki, you feel happy. Get that pesky insect out of the game.
Do you think this Ember Tiny matchup is way better for Ember now, like because of the 738B nerfs to the grow armor? Is this like well, hold on, actually.
It's still, I think it's still fairly okay, even after the nerfs for the Tiny. I think
Bird spawns top. It's a shield rune. Insania finds himself shackled to the tree. Blood grenade, as they've already broken down his cogs, trying to at least live a bit longer with the battery assault. He's got the stick charges, and he will live. Jokum, he's got power shot, kill shot even here in just a second. He aims, he fires, but it's not enough damage.
He missed the slide, actually, because of the blinding light. That was very important. Okay, I actually think it would have been very, very close, if the slide landed there to getting the kill. Now he's going to scout the stack. That's what Bounty Hunter does. Now the Ember is here to try and steal it with his Orb of Corrosion. Not the biggest stack, I guess. Just steal some creeps. It's been annoying. the main thing you want to see is your, if you're Talon, your Wraith King farming,
Yeah.
If he's farming, he's getting to the Radiance, you are happy.
He's looking fairly comfortable now. Saberlight also comfortable in this lane. He's able to fend off the skeletons, defend his tower now that he's got the full Vanguard and the Phase Boots completed. He also has the Dark Ascension, should he want to rotate around. And man, Cuckoo has just been attached to Boxy like a dung beetle to a turd, huh? He has really not
Yeah,
stopped
I thought
following
it's
him
actually just
around.
going to be specifically for the lane, yeah? I didn't realize, even in the game, he's just following him all the time.
Well, it's looked pretty good as he snipes the courier. And we'll kind of put that movement in its, stop it in its tracks mostly. But so far, I mean, I would say Winter fairly even out of the laning stage. Everyone maybe just farming their way towards their first item as Cuckoo trying to hide behind a tree here. Dark Ascension is used. Saberlight coming from the Roche pit now as he does have eyes on Cuckoo. Shadow Walk available in 7 more seconds, and the Blinding Light guarantees he never sees the light of day.
I think you take it if you're Cuckoo, Dark Ascension for a support, position 5. You take it, and Mikoto gets the rune, lucky. Top rune,
That's all 3 runes for him, hasn't it been? He's got, what, Illusion, Shield, and now Invis.
Yep.
So the spicy runes are left.
The rune lords love him, They are blessing him with every single rune so far. Yeah, I mean, talking about the game being slow, you were mentioning like Talon just happy about waiting the Radiance. Same goes for Liquid, waiting for the Battle Fury. But once you get those critical timings, especially whenever you have cooldown, you're ready on your Dark Ascension, you need to be aggressive, for Liquid. Because we already mentioned earlier that their draft is a lot faster paced. They do not want to take this late. So every time there's an objective, that's Roshan, whenever you have Dark Ascension, you want to get something, along those lines, or get a tower, get a key kill.
I have to say, though, Winter, it seems like remarkably, lanes have not broken down that much for 11 minutes into the game.
Not really, though. Both sides, they don't really have like very, very aggressive supports to rotate early on. They're very, I would say that supports that need levels, especially like if you compare Kotal and Wind Ranger, they don't really want to rotate as much on the position 4. Both want to just stack creeps, get your levels, get your items, be a little bit more
keep the lanes pushed out, get some gold XP.
Cuckoo is the one that wants to, get his hands dirty, but unfortunately his teammates are just like, wait, give me a second, I need to get my levels,
That's right, yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, Bryle's still just about halfway towards his Blink Dagger. We seem to be brewing up for a fight down bottom, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Everything else is just a bit farther away, like this Radiance for the Wraith King, the Battle Fury for the Ursa, a Saberlight. They're going to go in on him now down bottom. Cuckoo, setting up for this one as Joachim hits him with that power shot, and the Shackles guarantees the kill. Almost losing the life there on Natsume, but he had the wand charges. He's going to be A-okay. It's like we might start to farm these stacks now. Rune spawns top yet again. It's the haste rune as Makoto decides to make his way on in. That's the kill shot on Boxy. WS grabs that haste, dives under the tower here. Doesn't actually have the Ravage. Now finally gets the level in it. Bryle, alive for now, is Insania. He'll rotate on through and set up the cogs to provide some sort of makeshift defense. That's going to allow Bryle to walk away healthy. But a scary moment for him there.
Yeah, could have been way, way worse there for Liquid if Bryle got killed. I think maybe if WS wasn't really, too concerned about wasting the Ravage, if he just tried to use it earlier, maybe they would have had enough to get the kill. But right now, as it stands, he just walks back to the lane after the haste rune. So at least he tried, to help his team. I think that's a very, very good thing that he attempted, instead of just staying in his lane to hit creeps, It's always important whenever you see there's something important that might happen around the map, especially around the mid lane, mid tower, tier 1 tower. You'll be there, to help.
Anticipation. Yeah. And I have to say, Winter, it's pretty remarkably fairly low XP for all the supports here. Insania finally has hit level 6, but we still don't actually have track online for Cuckoo. This, as he leads his team in a smoke down bottom.
He didn't kill enough couriers,
That's true. They're going to go for Saberlight, though. Insania, he is chasing the smoke, but he's going to be a bit too far back.
He's pretty tanky, though.
Yeah, he's got a Vanguard. He's actually going to go for the full Crimson, by the way.
Full Crimson right away. Crimson Rush here, just against the Wraith King. I think it's pretty good here. Good against the Ember, good against the Wind Ranger with the Focus Fire as well. So it blocks a lot of the damage.
Speaking of the Ember, and he's found Insania. Power cog set up very nicely there as a third, even fourth
nice
cog pushback burns all the mana from Makoto. Not enough, though. He still had the bottle charges, and that last plate of his puts him in the dirt. However, there was a recall down bottom. They bring Brylan, surprisingly. They catch Natsumi. That's his first life on the Reincarnation. We have a Dark Ascension. Should we want to go for it now, as the Shackle Shot does not find a creep or a tree. Cuckoo showing off his fresh level 6.
Yeah, tracks up the Night Stalker, so keeps him in check right now. So they probably have to spend the next 2 minutes playing it a little bit slower on Talon side, since the Wraith King ultimate is down. Actually 3 minutes, it's a very long cooldown. Very, very long.
Yeah.
But the Ember's very strong. He gets another rune. Insania hooks in.
Wow. Yeah, they're going in mid lane. Trying to fight here for the runes, keep this tower alive a bit longer.
Regretting his decision a little now.
Yeah, just a bit. Continuing to harass him. Bryle, though, coming up from the high ground, looking for a toss back, but slowed by the power shot. They're going to turn for him now. Toss in place, shackles. They still have the Syrian chains as well, but a very nice blinding light does buy him a bit more time. Bryle going back on in, wants this toss, does find it. Mickey starting to pump in the damage, and they have a kill. Il Saber Lido getting in there with that crippling Fear Silence. They find both of them as Liquid. They'll dive the tower, looking for more now. Saberlight leading the charge. Mickey ready to go again with another Earth Shock to set up for his own double kill. Very nice sequence of events there for Liquid.
Yeah, that was very nice. They brought the numbers there because Talon fought a little too close to the sun, which is the tier 1 tower for Liquid. So easy TP in from Ursa, to back up.
And that
I
wasn't
was
even
quite surprised
recall.
they didn't try to bring the Tide. Tide had Ravage.
Yeah, he's got a
it was a
full
pretty
flats now. They might still try and fight this here, by the way. There is still a Decrypt Dark Ascension. They will use it now. Check out this full Crimson Guard that Saberlight's spotting too, by the way.
Oh, top lane. Natsumi in trouble.
Top
he has
lane.
no ultimate.
He does not. WS ready to go. He's TP top. He still has this Ravage ready to go, but can't really use it now on Mickey. That's going to be the kill for sure onto Natsumi as WS finished off just as quickly. Mickey on a killing spree already. Saberlight going for more. Bryles just had his Blink Dagger delivered, and he's putting it to great use. What a lovely toss. Another one's basically ready thanks to the recall from Boxy, as Mickey still collects the double kill. Talon, they're getting absolutely run over by this Ursa, this sharp timing.
They are just getting outplayed. Liquid just responding better as a team, the way they moved around the map. Defended the mid tower, and then they moved top to sandwich the Wraith King, because the Wraith King, they know that he died twice bot, right? So he doesn't have ulti. He TP's top, and then they just do the classic thing, follow
him down,
and go to his lane and just make sure that you kick him out, and they were able to kill him successfully. And Talon kind of tried to respond because they know that the Wraith King doesn't have ulti. They were desperate. They tried to save him, and they died.
Right.
And still, no Ravage being expanded. They really have to get something done with the Ravage. Night Stalker has no Dark Ascension now. They have to strike back at this moment.
Winter, I'd like for you to help me understand a little bit more the impact of the coddle at these high-level plays. Like we saw 1 or 2 recalls up there, but surely at some point Boxy is going to be able to really start bringing numbers like everywhere to almost every engagement, right? That's got to be difficult for Talon to keep up.
He's going to get the shot now, so that is so good. Now he has 2 charges. So the thing that Kotal brings to the table is like being able to shove out waves, and you send your teammates to the side. They push the lanes really far. You force the enemy to react to it, and then you create the numbers advantage, right? Because they have to TP there to deal with it or walk over there. So you get to make your move faster. So in all these high-level games, it matters a lot. Having the map control, just by pushing the waves out faster. And bot lane
is going to come through the gate. There is a full Radiance completed here on Natsumi, by the way. Makoto all not that weak either with his full Mage Slayer, so the items are coming online now for Talon.
Yeah, but still not as strong as what Liquid has at the moment. I think the Crimson Guard on the Night Stalker is a pretty big deal at the moment. It's going to nullify a lot of the damage coming from Wraith King. And the rest of the heroes, even the Ember, the Boom Ranger, we already spoke briefly about that. So Bryle.
He's kind of doing a little 1 versus 3. He does have an amplified damage rune. Boxy.
Yes. Chakra magic. Come on.
He can. Oh, and he's never alone, as Insania's brought into the fight here as well. You can see he's got other places to be at the moment. Counter smoke now by Talon Esports as they want to try and take this fight as the amplified damage rune is running out. Looks like Insania is going to run fist first into Natsumi. Quick little chain stun here on that hook shot. Really won't be enough to save Insania. He will fall to Natsumi. else can they find? The Searing Chains actually
Nah,
gets a
Root.
Saberlight here. Boxy does not have ult, but he does have this Blinding Light. As in goes Bryle on the Blink Dagger. They get the kill on the Jokum. They won't get it much further, though. Ooh, he bought his own shard, huh? He's got this Hunter in the Night health regen talent, or the restore. Can eat them creeps. Very early tanky build here by Saberlight. He will be very difficult to take down.
It kind of solves your mana problem, so you don't have to have the Kotal follow you all the time to give mana.
They're hunting top.
It's always nice, you know, in the middle of the team fight. Just
I don't
get
think
some
they
help
can
back.
get this kill. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not a Basher that he's building. It's a BKB, but a good effort.
Brown
Meanwhile, back
trouble.
down bottom. Bryle's in a bit of trouble. He has got that Crimson Guard buff. Nothing to dispel it, but those stuns, the lockdown significant. Box is going to TP himself in, try and buy Bryle a little bit more time, but it's only going to result in his own death. A very noble sacrifice there by Boxy.
Yeah, he tried. I think he's a man where if my core needs me, I'll do it no matter how ugly it looks, you know.
He's not going to let him down.
Nope. It's always the attempt, you know. You're trying.
That's right.
Trying to save him at all costs, you know. That's what makes the core players happy, you know, all the time. If you didn't know, you know, Richie.
And if he is going to go down, they're going to be lowered in the grave together, you know?
Yeah, if you die together, you know. You go in the
That's the way
grave
to
together.
go.
If you're the only one in the grave, then I'm gonna be the subject of some yelling after the game, you know. So I rather not.
Yeah, definitely. Careful here,
Okay,
Mickey
trying
hunting
to pressure
Cuckoo under a
Cuckoo.
ward.
Okay,
Free
he's
kill
gonna
for
kill
him.
him actually.
Yeah, free kill. He's got a BKB here on Mickey. He's really not scared. Incredibly farmed on Fuzzy Wuzzy. Roche might just be the target now as he casually walks through the mid lane.
Could be
Natsumi
risky though. Okay.
Initiates
If they
here.
get
Mickey is going to give chase. Does catch him inside of the cogs. Bryle tossing in the stun. There is a reincarnation ready as Bryle finds a beautiful toss. Tosses Jokum into harm's way. It's got no escape either. WS still holding on to that Ravage. Winter, but the BKB by Mickey lasts a little bit too long, and Rage perfectly timed there to essentially ignore it. Blink Dagger in a second here by Mickey, put on cooldown, and Sanya whiffs on that hook shot there onto the Ember, but it's Mickey who finally gets the kill onto the Tide. Oh, and a blink forward is beautiful into the toss back by Bryle, straight into the hands of Mickey. They blew him up. He is dead for good here as soon as his Wraith form ends. Mickey on a triple kill. That extends his kill streak to 8. What a game here by Liquid.
Yeah, what a fight, you know. Just again, you know, using the, I don't know if they were intentionally baiting with the clockwork there. He runs up the ramp there, and they see a clockwork. Okay, guys, let's just kill him. You know, it was like kind of like a perfect timing for Wraith King. He got his dagger after the raid, and so he wanted to fight, and then that kind of sealed their fate, you know, because they were unaware that Liquid, they were having the whole team basically behind the clockwork there, you know, so they were able to just turn that around easily, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's just such a perfect front line for Bryle to be able to blink in and get these, you know, avatars.
I mean, it's also
right?
the BKB, right? Because the Ursa can just
Right.
go in. He doesn't
Right.
care about the Ravage and everything else. He just goes in and just kills off a target. I mean, the Tide usually is a very, very tanky hero, but not in the face of a BKB Ursa.
No, yeah, he really shreds him there. And now this Ursa with an
Yeah,
Aegis.
You see the recall again. He's gonna use it twice. He pulls himself to the smoke gank, and then he's gonna pull the Ursa to the gank later.
Yeah, looks
This
like
is
it.
why Kotal is just so insane in this high level game. You know,
And
you see
WS
the Ursa pushing the bot lane, right? You think like you're safe at top.
He's safe. All of a sudden, here he comes.
Guess
Look at the
what?
silence, the control onto WS. Of course, they have the detection, and there's a Mickey. He's here for his snack. They eventually
that's
connect on a stun, thanks to Boxy's
close.
chakra magic onto Bryle.
I mean, if Tide lived there, it would have been such a disaster. And now they TP bot, you know, this is so quick, you know, this classic Liquid style, right? They know the Wraith King dodged them, and then they follow him, and then Kotal
And he doesn't
recalls
have
to the
reincarnation.
gank again.
20 seconds, it's still on cooldown here. Saberlight and
Get it?
Sanya both going in, burning the mana like they even need it. The cooldown just not here to support him, Winter, and he is taken down. Oh, Natsumi. He's barely even doing any damage through the Crimson passive, Winter. Mid lane, Bryle, he's in a fight for his life right now as Mickey here to support him. Jokum able to wind run and ignore a bit of that damage as Mickey only able to kill him off as soon as Bryle drops, but Makoto, a bit of a tough situation here. They still have a bit left of this Dark Ascension. In fact, they've seen Cuckoo with it. Insania gets on top of him, sets up Mickey for his 11th kill this game. This Ursa is out
Mickey
of control.
Has been insane this game, you know. He's been part of everything, you know, every important situation that happened in the game for his team. It all started from the mid tower. If you remember it, like 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, when he showed up to defend and fight, when it was 3 heroes from Talon pressuring. And I think it all started from there. TP showed up, they won that fight, and then it just keeps on coming. He's always there to add an extra hero to his team. Whereas Talon, with the slower lineup, they are struggling to keep up with sending the numbers, to the fights. Like even when they are able to send the numbers, it's always like some annoying thing that's happening. Oh, now we have to deal with this Ursa BKB. He doesn't care. He runs in. Oh, now he has Aegis. There's always that something that Liquid has in their arsenal that's an extra. And Brow, he's caught. He's alone.
Yeah, Mika as well jumping on in. Brow's not alone for too long. Ursa tears them apart. The Ravage, though, catching them off guard, but the heals up from the blinding light actually keeping Bryle alive. As long as the Pavises, he is good to go, Winter. WS, he goes down. They don't even lose the Tiny as Mickey running rampant on the backlines. They see Kuku on the sentry. Kuku running for his life, but there is just nothing he can do. It's not his fault. Mickey is 12-0-4 on this Ursa.
It's
cannot stop him.
Fault.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do, as a bounty hunter when the game is just falling apart like this, I think they just got outmaneuvered so hard, They are fighting into Liquid when Liquid is absolutely very, very strong with their heroes at the moment, and it doesn't seem like they are able to push out the waves, It's very difficult when you are stuck in this side of the map and you're playing into a Kotal. You can never get the wave out to force them to defend because there's recall. So if you're losing the game, you can't avoid the fights. You can't dodge. You just have to run into them. This is why the earlier fights where they lost, especially the mid one when they're pressuring with 3 heroes, and here we see Wind Ranger going down. That was so important, and it was so, important for them to be able to not lose those fights, with the Ravage especially, Now you can't really do much into the Kotal when you're losing the fights. You can't dodge.
And it feels so bad now. I mean, you don't have even Ravage for a minute. You also don't have Reincarnation for a minute. And Mickey is just tearing Kuku apart.
Yeah,
his 13th kill of the game. Look at Insania go. Saberlight commits the Dark Ascension. They have perfect vision. They know Talon aren't going to fight this. They're going to take their sweet time and enjoy some takoyaki courtesy of WS.
Time to ban the Kotal.
Is it really the Kotal, you think? This kind of,
it's
like
not,
the
it's
speed?
not just the Kotal, but the hero is very, very strong. It's very difficult to... I mean, they have some decent ideas on how to deal with it. Like the Bounty Hunter is, I think it's a decent idea. But I feel like the Kotal still did way too much, Maybe that's because they lost those important fights, So you don't really see the Bounty Hunter against Kotal interaction where they were planning to use this bounty to just annoy him and kill him with the Ember, give vision so Ember can kill him all the time. But because the game has gone so bad, and just credit to Liquid, they were very, very smart about utilizing their heroes in the early 100%, game, especially 100%. With the Night Stalker Dark Ascension. You see how they've done well every time.
They've done well to keep everyone alive as well, right? Because they have like this Night Stalker who has Crimson Guard to buff the whole team. They have the Kotal heals. They have a few Pavises. I think now even a Solar Crest, right? And this has really stopped like the Ember from doing almost any damage. Like they have not been able to catch the Ember, but all Makoto has been doing, he's just been slowly chipping away, doing 75 damage. It's just not enough. They just can't kill him. Bryle's going to get caught here. He's going to tank a bit of damage, but I mean that's just not the hero you want to find. He's got a BKB. He is not scared. Instead, they'll direct their attention down bottom, where maybe they can find Foxy here.
Maybe. That sneaky little bugger,
yeah. And you never know. Yeah, he's getting ready. He's recalling himself out. Yeah, he's gone.
He's just so BS, man.
Yeah, there he goes. WS is hunting him, but there is no Kotal down here. In the meantime, Kuku, he's going to get scouted. Yep. And
guess what? Kotal's not alone.
What did Mika even do to deserve that kill? I don't know, but Boxy made sure that he got it.
Oh, the fact that he showed up mid lane to defend a tower and won his team an all-important fight. Yes, sir, he deserves that kill.
Yeah. The 2 auto attacks, I mean, just a ridiculous game here by Mika. Involved in 20 of 25 kills.
When your carry player is involved in literally almost every kill, you give him whatever kill he wants.
It's all his. WS, he's got a Ghost Scepter. You see there's a lot these days. It's not really too crazy, but Mickey, he's going to jump forward. He's got the inner range. Makoto knows he can do nothing to save him here. The Glimmer Cape buying WS a little bit of time. Tumblr's going up to the high ground. Mickey mexes it up, actually, and WS is able to escape.
Wow, they actually didn't land the power comms push. So Tide gets out.
Come.
Nice. Ooh. Nice,
nice little spot there in the trees. Talon showing off the movement here a bit. Do evade death.
Yeah, they're showing all the new hiding spots around the map. That's the recent change. I think this is one of the latest ones.
Oh, sneaky
A
spot
lot
there.
of juke spots, you know? A lot of new spots where you can hide. Did you actually try to go through the whole map after all those changes? Like,
can they kill Mickey here? Oh, he gets the blink away. He's completely alone, but he's got a BKB, he's got an MKV, a Basher. Coddle can always recall onto him. No, we'll find Boxy instead. Boxy. Will he die here? He still has blinding lights. He's healing himself a bit. Yeah, okay. He is going to go down.
Who is he recalling?
Nobody at this rate. But careful here, Mickey. He's going to get scouted. Cuckoo, he's seen him. Mickey, he knows something's up, but his team, he's coming through the gate. Very good power cogs here by Insania. Bryle's going to blink on in. Cuckoo's immediately bursted. WS, he has a Ravage. We'll go ahead and release that. It's pretty good damage now on a Mickey. He didn't get the BKB or the Enrage off, but he's going to turn now and fight. Jokum doing what he can now with the focus fire, and Natsumi is going to land the killing blow. Saberlight finally joining the fight, doing some good damage here, but Natsumi able to outlast them all as Bryle, he's going to force the BKB. Makoto out of mana, out of remnants, but too tanky as Bryle, he's going to have to punch out of this fight with the BKB TP away. Liquid, they are finally losing a fight here. Signs of life from Talon as Natsumi jumps onto Saberlight, but he's just too darn tanky. He will not go down.
They just really couldn't really take the fight when they were just so scattered, right? The TP got cancelled. I think Ursa's TP got cancelled by the bounty. And then after that, it was just a disaster for Liquid, you know. It's good. I mean, good moves there by Bounty, just being able to scout. That was definitely Coco's work, right? You know. Yeah, he scouted them.
You see Boxy with those glasses on. He's the shot caller, man. You gotta respect him. Look at this guy. This is not a guy you want to start a team fight without the permission.
And if you're dragging everyone around the map, you better be talking.
That's true. Yeah. Otherwise, it's very confusing. I think the only time I've been motion sickness was when I was playing Coddle and just spamming self recalls. I just could not keep myself.
You're telling your core, you know, nope, you're coming here. You listen to me, I'm Cotter, you know.
Oh yeah.
You're like forcing them to fight.
No, it's great because even though recall has got like what, like a 20-second cooldown or something like that, it what's the cooldown? Yeah, 15-second at level 3. It gets reduced by Chakra Magic. So every time you complete a recall, the cooldown goes down by 6 seconds. So you can have your entire team in the Roche pit in about 10 seconds flat. It's pretty ridiculous.
Why pick Io when there's Koto?
Honestly, too true. Too true at the moment. Careful here.
Yeah, Talon, you see? Again.
They will see Bryle. But Saberlight, he's ready to go. He's got Dark Ascension in 7 more seconds alongside the BKB. Insania kick things off now with the hook shot. Force staff out from Jokum. There's a second as Makoto able to hold on to his BKB charge. Not forced to use it quite yet. There's Talon, and there's the whole team. That is going to trigger the retreat. Makoto doesn't want any of that.
So infuriating. You know, they're just pushing the waves. They're showing, because they're showing on all 3 lanes, right? You think that against a normal team in a normal game, you would think that it's safe.
Ryle, Avalanche.
Oh no, Bash.
Secure the room. The Bash, though, it's in the river. They almost killed off Makoto already. Mickey, he's giving chase. He wants to find this kill. At least the stun comes through, but not before the Abyssal Blade. So Cuckoo is going absolutely nowhere as he just throws down tracks in his dying breaths. His 10th death of the game here on the Bounty Hunter. Tough game to be a Bounty.
Very tough game, you know, against a Night Stalker with Gem, kind of the anti-bounty hero in a way. You just can't escape from him, you know, you can't hide, he sees you.
No, it's so difficult, right? Winter, how much longer until Natsumi is able to fight into this? Because we saw signs. Oh, hold on, Makoto doesn't have BKB. Roshan gets finished off. Mickey, of course, snatches the Aegis away.
You're asking me how many items more he needs?
Yeah, because we saw signs of life in that last fight. He's almost at this AC.
AC plus another item. But I guess with AC, he should be strong enough to at least, you know, kill off the Koto with like a stun and say a shackle.
Yeah. I mean, you say that, but his Koto also has a casual plate mail and a solar.
Yeah, he's pretty tanky actually.
He's pretty tanky.
Yeah, I'm sure with one stun, if he didn't cast any of his abilities or items, with one stun from Brave King and then you follow it up with a shackle shot, he should be dead.
Okay, we'll see how that goes for him.
I mean, if you can't kill the Kotal with that, then you're done.
I think Insania's seen him. Jokum, he's going to hide away in these trees. Very nice. You got to know these
Ooh.
trees here. You got to know these trees. Good spot.
Gotta know the map, gotta know the trees, gotta know all the spots. Your favorite burger spot.
You
know my favorite burger spot?
Ramley Burger Spot. SS15.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Get them anytime, anywhere.
So many spots.
How do you want it? Special? Of course. Dalgane special, please, boss. They're under reward here. Mickey. He might just 1v3. He doesn't have a BKB. It's in his backpack.
He's not alone. Come on.
Onto Jokum. And
He's
that's
not
true.
alone.
He's not alone. Boxy, he's recalling the whole team in. It's a party. And Insania's here to kick things off with that hook shot. What a beautiful initiation. Both supports already dead. Bryle, he's jumping in, finds the toss back. It's on to Natsumi. They're going to be able to try and take down him on his first life. WS holding on to the Ravage, gives him the Glimmer Cape buff. He's got to wait out these BKB charges. Mickey, he looks like he's ready to go right on in. Natsumi does get the blink out, but he will not have another reincarnation for 2 minutes.
Yep, I know the answer to the question now you were asking me before. What does Natsumi need? AC and Nullifier. He needs the Nullifier to remove the Solar, the Crimson, everything
the
annoying.
4 staffs.
All the annoying stuff.
Bryle. Oh, no way. He finds another stun in into the Abyssal. He's just dead. Makoto, no chance to use the BKB. Bryle says this one's for all the haters. Spent 1 year practicing the combo, boys, catching Makoto. What you know about taking a year off? Holy. What a catch.
Yeah, tough, tough for Talon. They have to figure out what to fix, for the next game, I mean, by no means they are totally out here, but it's definitely looking really, really grim.
You give me TP away, but guess what? Mickey is here. You thought Mickey was pushing your tier 3 mid? No, actually, he's not. Boxy decided that he's here now, and there's absolutely nothing Natsumi can do about that, but die.
Yeah, he's just trying to finish off it. I mean, he got his AC, but yeah, dying there, definitely not the thing that he wanted after using BKB. I mean, he is level 20, so he has actually a lot of damage now with the 60. He has chosen to go for the attack speed. So he can actually kill the supports pretty quickly. But he still needs a Nullifier, I think. I mean, as long as there's a Crimson Guard, there's a Solar Crest, it's going to take a long time to kill off anyone, unless he catches them, like I said. Stun and Shackle with them not reacting to anything. He definitely still packs a punch with the serrated shift. So he's
no, he
does.
Lot of
damage
but
if he gets the hit.
Can they get through all the barriers and everything else? And we'll see here.
If you give them time, he can get past it.
Okay.
Liquid's not giving them time, They're ending the game.
They aren't.
2 lanes
and
now.
The sustain it's so good out from the the illuminate heals. Mickey, he can just kind of siege so casually here. And they're going to be already going for the megas. Natsumi does have 2 lives at the ready, though. That reincarnation's good to go.
5 seconds for his BKB. He's waiting. Nice Shackle.
US waiting on that Ravage. Tier 3 tower, the last one, already gone. Mickey will be forced away. They've got the anchor on him now, but Bryle's going to hit that tied with the silence, actually, now by Saberlight. They're focusing onto WS. WS holding onto the Ravage. Everyone's BKB. He can do nothing. And Natsumi, he's just walking through the fight. He can't do anything. Makoto, he's going to jump the backlines. Out comes the Ravage. He finds both supports. Natsumi tries to jump him. Boxy with a huge shield, finished off by the kill shot of Joker from long range. A good start here. How much more can they get? They're aiming for both supports now, but Mickey, he's doing the same. That's both Liquid supports down. Natsumi trying to still fight through this one, but that's already going to be his second life. Done and dusted, Winter. Dead for 70 seconds. WS still alive here. Makoto back in the base. He remnants back out. He thinks he can still take this fight. A buyback now, a second here, as that's WS's dieback. Mickey's already killed his opponent. What more can they do here? Liquid, they're buying back as well, as GG is called. Talon, they will drop game 1. Overrun by, oh my goodness, overrun by this Mickey Erster, who dives the fountain to end the game 21-1.
Yeah, definitely the Mickey show right here, this game, I mean, not to say the Kotal didn't do a lot. We've been speaking about the Kotal being a really, really strong hero. But I mean, in terms of what each player did in the game, I think Mickey was definitely the shining star, for his team here. He's basically to allow the TA to succeed in the early game. So the Tide is going to help the TA.
Okay.
The
Are you
Tide
saying
is
that
essentially working for the TA, my friend.
I got you? So Makoto's still the boss. Natsumi is going to be a little bit more of like a space curator, almost like this Timber as well, or what? Explain this to me.
I think Timber is higher ranked than him. I think Timber is more of a
Wow.
yeah. The Tide is actually the offlaner here. So the Timber and the TA, they are both the higher role cores here.
Do you
They
think
are gonna take more
Natsumi's
farm.
is he the kind of player that you think he can flex into that kind of sacrificial
Yeah,
position?
he's a pretty selfless player.
Okay.
As when I see him play in pubs, I think he does play for other people. He's not like, oh, everybody has to play for me every game. I think he does do it, and he does do it pretty well. He knows what he.
Awesome.
I mean, he used to be more of like oh, everybody needs to play for me type of player. But nowadays he's improved and diversified his hero pool enough and his play style, to allow this to happen.
Okay, well, we'll see how the carry Tidehunter works out for Talon Esports, who got a collab reign in game one at the hands of Liquid as we gear up for a rune fight, potentially. Smoke's breaking all over. Talon, they don't like what they see. They will settle for 2 runes apiece.
Yeah, I want to highlight the facets. So the
Sure.
ones that we should talk about is Mickey going for the Frost Dragon here against CA, which you mentioned is very good. And on the other side, we have Kraken Swell on the type, which is not the most common one nowadays. We
Right.
usually see the Krill Eater, and then we have Twisted Chakram on Timbersaw. I think the rest are pretty standard.
Pretty standard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing a lot more carry TA than a mid TA, I'm not going to lie. The refraction instances
Yeah,
buffs.
because you also kind of want to use the the ancients, right? If you are a carry with mid TA, you don't really. I mean, you still can do it as much, but I think on the mid lane sometimes it can be a little bit more complicated to do it because you have to control runes and sometimes you have to make certain rotations. I think that's the weakness of the mid TA. You're not exactly a very good hero to make rotations. So I think you can react, but making rotations on your own, I don't think TA is like the best hero compared to something like a Storm, right? If Storm gets a good rune, he can easily just make rotations. I think Liquid are going to try to abuse that and try to make life tough for Talon by moving the Storm around the map.
Yeah, I guess in that sense, it's going to come down a little bit to the rotation supports, right? Or the support rotations, pardon me.
Hey, on the other hand, the TA is going to have the shard against the Storm, the silence here. It's going to be very effective.
That's going to be a strong timing as well, alongside the traditional, what is it? Dragonlance Deso Dagger timing, right?
Is that traditional now? You call that tradition?
It is now. New traditions, New traditions.
Traditional is like the Dagger Desolator, no Dragonlance.
That's true. Yeah, well, Dragonlance didn't exist back then, did it? Traditionally, the first person who died would upgrade the courier as well, and we've moved past that, haven't we?
Traditionally, we had 7 couriers.
Fly the donkey, upgrade the donkey. How many times did you have to upgrade the donkey, Winter? Too many?
Yeah, one too many times, man.
Seeing those cogs up top, really nice harass there by Cuckoo, extremely effective to burn half the mana.
Yeah, but still you see why he opted to pick the Dark Willow after seeing the Clockwork here. He's able to bully the Clockwork quite substantially in the lane. I mean, allowing the Darkseid to have a pretty good CS lead over the Tide now, 15 to 10. And whereas in the mid lane, Storm is struggling, I think this is the lane where Liquid didn't expect the the switch up, from Talon.
Right.
They were expecting more of a team mid, so this is the price they're gonna pay here. Losing this. This is quite normal, Some doesn't really do so well into the TA because you can't really out-trade him because of refraction. You can't do much about it. He's going to just run in with refraction to tank your Remnant, and he's going to out-CS you because he has more damage.
Yeah, and again, even easier now, right, with the 738C buffs. Dakota really putting in the hurt now.
It's tough. This is a tough lane.
Just so much damage.
He's going to have to play patient and try to go jungle and recover later. This is a tough lane. I think just Talon really understanding the lane matchup and trying to abuse this as much as possible.
That shackle. That somehow caught Insania mid-dive. I don't know about that one. That's one I'd argue about. I'd argue with Ice Frog. Take it up with Ice Frog there.
Yeah, that angle does not Look like he would land right down
Get
the
out the
shackle.
protractor. That didn't seem right. That just didn't seem right here. Careful here, Cuckoo. Might be. Well, actually, he could turn this around on a boxy a bit here. Missed on that second cog, unfortunately for him. Does not see me. He will eat those shadow run projectiles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, careful, Cuckoo. Where are you going, boss?
Yeah, where?
He's gonna go back to the fountain by the looks of this.
Maybe he. I feel like I'm not really sure what he tried to do there.
Maybe he
Because they
thought he
didn't
was
have
on
gush,
the
right?
radiant
So
side.
they couldn't kill the Darkseid. I mean, Darkseid was low, but without gush, I feel like they can't kill him. Maybe
Yeah.
he thought Tide had gush, that's why he was so aggressive.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. He thought the Tide had gush.
Well, this is a carry tide, and Natsumi, he does not take gush here at level 3 as Cuckoo. He'll get right back to work. Blocked a little bit here by the creeps, but still some pretty effective harass out from the cogs. Careful here, though. This is Ion Shell level 2 Natsumi. This damage will add up. As once again, Cuckoo very eager to just kind of position himself behind.
Yeah. I mean, he's tired of like doing the small little juke and dodge, in the side.
Still no gush, by the way.
lane.
He's going to throw out another set of cogs. Good damage here on a Saberlight. This might be a kill. The cogs still connecting. The fourth as well. Picks up the kill. Cuckoo. 2 points in cogs, but he's landing every single one.
That deserves applaud right there.
That deserves
The
a
Tide
replay.
didn't
Take a
even
look at it
care.
again.
I don't know about this casters, talking about gush. I don't need gush, he gets a second point. Kraken Shell just tanks up everything.
Yeah, made it
I
look
just
easy.
need my clockwork to be Cuckoo.
He certainly is. And now he's mid lane. Here a little bit early for the minute 6 runes. But what this is going to do, it's going to put more pressure on Bryle.
One level ahead. That's why he can come here now.
Right. No ball lightning ready to go. This is going to be trouble now as Boxy also rotates over to help his mid laner.
Bullying the stand-in, yeah? Good strategy.
So 2-on-2 at the moment here in the mid lane. Cuckoo very eager to show fully the
That is very
stand-in.
traditional of you. Calling them 2-1.
Okay, Invis goes to Boxy. Oh, they might try and kill him here. But do they have a way to break his invis? Okay, burning the mana. Cuckoo, he just doesn't miss, does he? It's getting to work there on against an invisible hero.
Yeah, our DK is having like a free farm lane, He's not really getting pressured a lot, even though he's against Timber, which I thought would give him some pressure, but nope. Timber has... Look at the CS, man. Timber just got out CS in his lane. Just raw last hit and deny.
Yeah.
DK is 41 and 4. Timber is 25 and 5. I mean,
This
still,
move
it's a
speed, the
Timber,
healing reduction,
this is why you don't see Timber as much nowadays. Reactive armor is just such a shitty
so
spell.
bad. Yeah, it's just so bad.
You can't win lanes, you can't win trades because it's so weak. I mean, they got a buff. They buffed it a little bit. What, 0.1?
Gonna try and snipe the Wisdom. I think he's gonna die for this. That maybe Saberlight's tanking the stack, so he got a little bit low for wear there, but he's gonna be just a-okay. Back down bottom, WS. He's okay.
Yeah, I was saying they did buff the reactive armor a little bit, but still not enough. 0.1.
Yeah. Well, plus that buff is basically neutralized, right, with the Frost Dragon debuffs, I would say, on the healing reduction. So it's almost like he doesn't have it this game. But I hear what you're saying. I
mean, it just shows to you how strong DK is as a hero, right? They can't ever kick the hero out. He has so many options now.
Yeah, permanent home in the meta.
Land the power clock trap. Tries to come gank through the gate.
2 points in it, though. I think he's going to leave 2 points in it. I remember when this got reworked with the expanded armature facet, I was like, no, go max your cogs, right? No, it's probably not going to end up seeing that too much. But,
I feel like you could still do it. Because they remove the damage you deal with creeps, right, on battery assault. Because last time you could always make the argument, I want to push out waves, I want to get farm, I want to stop and clear a camp, right? You could do it, right? But nowadays, you can't anymore. It takes too long. So it's not worth it. So it might be okay for you to just max power cogs and just be disruptive,
Sure. Okay, there's an illusion rune online for Makoto, so he does have a dispel already, but Bryle is not going to get trapped inside those cogs either from Cuckoo. He does
look at what
kick one on the
doing.
boxy.
He's doing the same thing.
Second.
He's He's coming mid again to defend.
Liquid were the ones that I saw on their Snapchat. They went to see Messi play. He played a soccer game. Really, it's Boxy getting scored on by Kuku right now. That was incredible. He's on point right now with the clockwork.
Support players very good at kicking a ball.
That's true. That is
I
true.
should say kicking a power cogs. Yeah. Yeah, but I think Storm has kind of stabilized his game in a way though. But in terms of CS, he's okay. But in terms of net worth, he is around 1.4k, 1.3k behind the TA. And TA is going to clear some stacks now. So that's going to get substantially bigger. But Liquid, again, you know, they know that they just need to stabilize the game and just make sure that they recover in the jungle. Because this lane matchup with the Storm and TA, it's just going to be like this, you know, you can't do much as the Storm Spirit. You just have to be patient. Wow, okay. Somehow it pushes him twice.
Yeah,
And
that
Boxy
was weird.
The trusty shovel, giving Brawl another bottle charges. And bot lane, they are coming to kick Mickey out. Talon are bringing in the numbers. They are tired of this DK standing in the lane. A Timbersaw not being able to kick a DK out in the lane.
Yeah, it's been tough. Well, W is finally up to level 6. He's got regular Chakram and the Twisted Chakram.
You know who's the boss in this team now, right? After you see this, everyone is rotating for the Timber.
Makoto is here.
Like, guys, I can't kick the DK out. I need help. Come.
Natsumi, he's waiting in the trees here. He's got this Vlad's ready to go.
Yeah, he's hiding the Vlad so it doesn't show.
All right, on the,
nice
on the auras.
Play, yeah.
How would you say this tide carry's worked out so far, right? Seemingly, Saberlight's unable to kick him out of lane, even with a max ion shell.
I mean, I think it's a little bit too early to say, right? I
okay,
mean,
but what about the lane?
It's just the lane. I think in the lane, he's going to be fine. And in the game, I think the idea is also, you don't really give Darkseid a good illusion to copy later.
Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, not exactly a Radiance kind of debuffing hero, right? On the auto attacks.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you know, his role here in this game is he's the offlaner. The offlaner is a carry, the mid laner is a carry. They have two carries, and the Tide has to babysit both of them. Stop them from fighting, you know?
Cuckoo. He's going to walk under a ward, and Brile will waste no time jumping in on him. Activates the regeneration rune. Cuckoo trapped in the brambles.
Nice kill.
Taken down.
Brile's kind of back into the game now. He is 4.3k net worth. Doing good as a regen rune. He's chilling. He's happy. Saberlight this time doesn't go for the Crimson with the Vanguard. Goes for the Halberd. Very, very good item into the TA. Very good choice. I like this game.
I thought we weren't going to see a lot of Halberds at all, right? Because now with the debuff immunity changes, you can just ignore them with BKB at this point. But like you say, this TA...
The build-up is nice. The build-up is just very nice.
Very true.
And yeah, against TA, it's just too good, you know?
Yeah, she's the kind of hero that doesn't
know what
really
we say about
BKBs.
TA? We've already said this once. He doesn't like or she doesn't like to buy BKB.
Very true. Very, very true here. But like you said, that
Richie, how many times have you yelled at your TAs to buy BKB?
Winter, my behavior score is 12k. I simply do not yell at my TAs, okay? I don't know about your 11k behavior score, okay?
So I guess we're talking about a totally different game. Meanwhile, Natsumi,
go for Natsumi.
the watermelon.
He's got Ravage ready, and he's fairly tanky here, by the way. Will he pop the Ravager? He will. Mass TP's coming in now to support him as Talon. They will lose the carry tide, quote-unquote. But the counter initiation looking quite good. Cuckoo traps Saberlight inside the cogs as WS zipping on through for some good damage. Brile standing and delivering on the damage, though, as Saber will be able to surge himself to safety using that Halberd to prevent a lot of damage from coming through. Lucky that Insania was not ready with that Supernova. Could have been trouble there for Talon.
Joke's on you, Richie. They just lost the offlaner.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It's not the carry. I thought he actually almost survived there. If he actually completed the anchor smash and he got some lifesteal back, he might have actually lived there. It was very, very close.
That's a magic damage, though. Look at that death summary. Poor guy. Take almost no damage, no physical damage.
Yeah, he took like the full... I think he took the full Bedlam damage.
Yeah, he really did. And that's going to do a lot, right? With the throwing shade facet on Willow. So make sure you check Boxy's positioning when he's inside that Shadow Realm off that facet.
Yeah, it's
significant.
Very, very fun hero to play when you get a game like this. You know, you come out your lane, you have some sort of level, you can pretty much solo kill a lot of heroes on the map.
Definitely. But like you said, Winter, like you predicted out of the draft, you said that this was going to be a game where Talon were eager to just kind of play all 3 lanes. That's seemingly what they're doing now. It's Liquid, the only ones really making the aggressive moves as they look to try and spot a quarry here. WS up to the high ground. Will force another zip out of Brile. Insania does not drop the supernova
nice
here because he
catch.
doesn't need
He was
it.
waiting.
Very great. Very great by
Wow.
Boxy.
The power of anticipating. You know, he was like walking with his team and then he decided to stop and wait at that specific tree. He was reading the situation perfectly there. He knows that the Timber wants to go back to the tower and he was just waiting there for him. Well played, man. Boxy.
Yeah.
This is why I love watching him play.
He's great. And you know what else is, sometimes when he shows up to lands, because of the bright lights, of course, right? He's got that look of a poker player. So when he makes those reads like that, oh, it's
the
just
glasses,
so clean.
bro. It's the glasses.
And
I
the
tell
hood,
you.
bro. And the hoodie. You don't know what's going on in there.
Read
it's the
him.
mind games.
You don't know what he's doing.
Exactly. I'm kind of walking into the enemy triangle.
Right now.
What's the goal here, though?
Yeah, they're trying to look for some stacks to steal. You know, the Tide was just casually walking up. Maybe there is a gold mine. Maybe, just maybe, you know, because I know I can't go to my ancients because TA is taking them.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm just an offlaner, right? Who am I to demand from my carry TA that I want the ancient stacks? You know, I can't.
TA,
So that's so me.
Who,
just
by the
playing
way,
his role, right? You know, he's the offlaner now.
Koda's having a strong game, right? He's at 2 of the 3Ds. He's got the he's got the Dagger and the Dragon Lance, and making very quickly haste towards that.
He has
Desolator.
the Orb of Destruction as well, so a lot of minus armor. Orb of Blight, Orb of Destruction with Melt. And 15 minutes, so it's time for the Tormentor. Who shall Gaben bless? But Liquid has something to say about that.
Yes, they will. Tide is going to end up coming through this twin gate as well, so they do have a Ravage.
Can they escape?
It's already the Tormentor down. Liquid not fast enough, but they
Timbers
still
at
make
half health though.
fight.
Don't know if they want to fight.
They're going to get the D ward. Initiate the stun on a Natsumi, though. He's got that blubber. Ravage at the ready. Counter initiation there. They're going to try and focus down onto the DK. Mickey, he's going to get cut by WS. They will not focus onto the Supernova, however, trying to retreat. The stun finds Natsumi briefly as Jokum being controlled. Brile looking for a way back into this fight as Liquid continue to poke and force back Talon after they take down the Tormentor. Cuckoo, though, he's trapped Saberlight behind the lines. Makoto blinks in to seal his life. Brile able to zip away, almost got caught by the cogs, but it's left Boxy behind. He's cornered, trying to TP out after the terrorize, but no. Cut down by Makoto. Talon, they will lose their quote-unquote carry. They come off the better of this fight.
Yeah, very good execution there by Talon. They managed to focus the DK and just destroy him. By the way, this is the purpose of why Timber was picked, right, against this DK. He was able to burst the DK just like that. Just got destroyed from, I think, just 1 Ravage, 1 stun, and he was gone.
Yeah, power shot, just a lot of magic damage here.
Yeah, this DK is going to need a lot more items to be able to stand up and fight the team, especially that BKB. At some point, you know, he's not really getting a BKB now. Wants to play a slower pace game, more farm orientated. Sure. Milner done. Very, very fast farming item, and then he wants a Dragon Lance next. And meanwhile, his team is trying to create some space around the map. Saberlight is playing very aggressive, farming the enemy jungle.
Yeah,
I mean, the BKB timings are going to be absolutely important for Liquid here against the Talon lineup.
Storm's going to have his soon. Mickey's gone for the full Mjolnir first. So it's only Brile that will have his in the next few minutes.
He's the only one that's going to be playing around his team as much right now. I think DK and Daxia are probably going to be pushing out the side lanes, farming a lot more. And Storm is the one that has to be in the 3-man ball, right? You need to be in the smoke, you need to be with the supports, you need to initiate.
By the way, we have TA shard as well. So Mikoto's bought that full out. And Jokum, he got the shard from Tormentor.
Storm is going to have
careful here. WS, he's in trouble. Look how Boxy focuses him down. No way out. They burst him so quickly through that Glimmer Cave. It's like it didn't even exist. My goodness. So Liquid, they eventually find something. You know?
That's what Dark Willow brings to the table. Overwhelming magic damage.
Kodo is still
Timber without any. Okay, he's gonna get the Glimmer. He has a Glimmer, but still dies, like you said.
Yeah, it's just too much damage. Makoto's about to hit his next spike as well, right? That Deso's going to really come in
Maybe
clutch.
it's
Oh,
a
they're going to try
AD.
and Roche, are they?
Arcane Rune AD. No, I think Liquid has to probably give this up. It's a little bit hard to contest. They're too separated, and you don't want to be running into a Ravage right now.
Yeah. So the double runes
They're
holding on to
gathering
the damage.
heroes around. Phoenix is trying to de-ward.
Well, here comes
Saberlight
Saberlight.
is
He
running
might have something
over.
to say about this. He'll drop the wall of replica. That'll delay things here
Yeah,
significantly,
they'll
Winter.
actually waste some time. You're right.
Yeah. Ryle, in the meantime, gets the tower down bottom, but the Roche attempt will continue. Oh, Natsumi also has his Dead in the Water shard, so that's very strong against the Storm until the BKB is out.
Yeah, Storm can't really show his face in the team fights until he has BKB, you know. The shard, like you said, from TA and the Dead in the Water, the double shard, you know, from Tide and TA.
Yeah, definitely really turn the screws on the Storm in the fights.
So it's the shard that gives you everything, right? Tide TA
That's true.
shards.
Oh my gosh, it's true. It gives you stuns, it gives you leash, it gives you silence. What more do you need? Really, truly gives you everything.
Bottom lane, Boxy, Brow, the Glimmer. Oh, they managed to get it out on time. The dust was late, so Timber able to get the Timber chain out. That was very close.
Brow's still sticking around here, though. Not able to find much. Meanwhile, on the triangle, ooh, Supernova is going to be forced. Makoto from the low ground will avoid the vacuum. He's missing. He missed 3 times, I think, there. Makoto asking him for a refund here on his high ground rolls. Is going to be focused down now. This could be very well the Aegis, as all of Liquid responded very quickly to this. WS coming in from the sides, as there's Natsumi as well, lingering with the Ravage. He will let loose now, but the damage, it's been done on Makoto. He is not going to be able to live. They focus him down. Natsumi, try his best, is not going to be able to get a single kill here. Bryle on a dominating streak, as it's all gone lopsided there for Talon.
Yeah, that was either a high ground miss or a Phoenix miss, you know.
He missed twice in a row. Oh, yeah, you're right. The stacks. Yeah.
Either
wow,
way,
look at this.
That was very unfortunate.
I can't believe it.
I think 3 misses. Probably.
First, it was 2 at the end here.
Yep, 1, 2.
3? It was 3! He couldn't believe it! He walked away. Makoto was like, dude, this thing's gone for sure. Oh, wow. I mean, that's a little upsetting for Makoto for sure. We'll see how he's able to recover from that, especially because after that fight, Winter Bryle, he is rich. Fully recovered. BKB ready to go. He's feeling pretty good here. Careful, though. This time, Insania, he's not going to be able to escape. Cut down by the kill shot of Jokum. And Bryle,
Storm says thank you very much, blocking the gank. So I don't have to use my BKB. That's what you got to do, you know, as Phoenix. Once your egg is down, you have to find yourself something useful to do, you know. And tanking ganks is something.
Mid lane on the Mickey. He's tanky, but they've got a lot of minus armor here for him. WS looking to close the gap as well to try and cut him down. Bryle, big zip on in. Beautiful vacuum interrupting them as they're going to be able to focus down on Makoto. Makoto, he's just taken down. Boxy's blown him up. Then WS awkwardly stuck in the river. He missed the timber chain. He'll get one more chance here, but Saberlight running him down. Natsumi, he's going to walk in. He's got a Dead on the Water now, actually, onto Saberlight. WS looking to turn. He's got these magic barriers and will be cut down by WS Talon. They hold their side of the river, and they will be able to equalize here just a bit.
Very nice double Glimmer there. The Glimmer on the Tide, the Glimmer on the Timber. It's keeping the Timber alive. Yeah, Jokem did a very good job right in the middle of everything, you know. Just killing off, finishing off the DK there. But it wasn't that bad of a trade for Liquid at the end. They still got 2 heroes, but yeah, Talon probably a little bit happier with the trade because they got 2 cores. But not the worst, you know, for Liquid.
Not so bad here. Not so bad there. But that was a fight without a lot of ultis for Liquid as well, right? So for if you're I guess you didn't Ravage, did you? Yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah, there's still Ravage. I mean, Storm got a lot of stacks, you know. He has 18 galvanized stacks right now, so I think he's happy. Still no deaths yet. 4-0 and 8 on Brow, you know, playing a very, very good game. Considering how the lane started for him, he was struggling in the lane, you know, against the TA.
I agree. He's feeling pretty happy. Good use on his 9-second BKB. Any other significant items? There's that Rod of Atos. Your favorite item of the qualifiers, wasn't it? Online for Jokum.
Yeah, well, I think I was more impressed with the 4-star, you know, from Boxy in the previous fight, you know. Even though DK died in the end, but it bought them so much time, you know. Forced Talon to kind of commit more to kill the DK, and he was able to get Liquid like an even 2-for-2 fight, So that force
Indeed.
stuff definitely also something to take note of. Because if you look at how Talon wants to take the fight, right? They hook shot or they shackle with the Wind Ranger. They want to blow the hero up right away with the TA. And force stuff can totally ruin that for you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And then it sets him up for like a vacuum. Great vacuum there on that fight by Saber. Like he vacuumed mid Timber Chain, which is just absolutely beautiful. Love to see it. One of my favorite interactions. Vacuum is just like one of the most powerful spells in the game.
Hey, didn't you mention you love watching Darkseid's vacuum storm out of their ball
yeah,
lightning?
or Embers. Yeah, or Embers. It's just so good. Or you pull them down from Yules, It's just amazing. It's just such a cool spell. And in the hands of a master. Oof.
Why have you been granted special powers on the Darkseid?
It's honestly, it's a good question, dude. It's a Hoover, It's like some comedic effect where like, oh, what's this? A vacuum? And then all of a sudden it's the most powerful vacuum of all time. Teams by breaking out, they see the storm, then in the water, will force the BKB as they leave Boxy behind. Jokum tanking a ton of damage.
He almost got a kill.
Goodness, almost got the kill, and unfortunately will still die to Makoto.
That was some
Liquid,
fancy footwork there by Boxy. And somehow sneaking around, getting in the middle of things and trying to get a kill. I think Hu was very calm, He knew that he was outnumbered and he knew that the best thing he could do is try to get a trade.
I agreed. Yeah, just make some space, make sure they can't chase down the Storm who had an anchor attached to him. And you're just totally fine.
I mean, this is the reason why Tide is just such a good hero now, One of the reasons, the shard, It's just such a great shard. It gives you a lot more play in the game, You don't have to use your Ravage to get singular pickoffs, and you get it more for team fights. And or you saw in the previous engagement where he forces someone to pop BKB, early without really committing anything.
Especially a hero like the Storm, right? Where these early
they
BKBs
nerfed it,
in a game
but
like
it's still too powerful. And bot lane, another governor
protection.
stack, it seems.
Yeah, indeed. He's up to 19. Oh, goes to Mickey.
So Tormentor for Liquid,
I guess. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's up and ready. Talon will take a tier 1 in exchange for it, but
who wants the shard? Who deserves the shard, Richie? Let's see.
I would say Insania deserves. Oh, he's got it already. So
he already got it.
Yeah.
So he deserves a refund, right?
Yeah, give him the refund. Give him the VAT tax return, the tourist return. He won't get it. It'll go to Boxy.
Yeah, back to our discussion a couple of days ago.
Wait, hold on. We don't have time for the discussion.
Yeah,
Ryle
BKB.
Forced to BKB here. The Yule Scepter has a setup now onto the Timber Saw. Natsumi waiting. His Blink Dagger on cooldown, but has a Ravage as Ryle's BKB has expired now.
Very tanky.
WS is very tanky, especially with the BKB charge. There's going to be the disarm on Makoto. Pulled back into the Sunray, into the Supernova. Makoto, no support. He's going to drop. Ryle jumping in, taking advantage now of a beautiful team fight from Liquid as he picks up 2 more Galvanized charges, up to 24. Winter chasing for more. No, he's going to go ahead and take it easy breezy now. What a fight. The spell casting by Liquid is impeccable.
Yeah, I think Mikoto also kind of maybe overcommitted a little bit, thinking that the Tide will follow up in the initial engagement when Timber BKB in. I also felt like maybe he was right, because if you think about how the team fights are going to happen, when you pop BKBs on your heroes, like especially the Timber. Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on. Storm.
No
this
BKB.
time, no BKB. WS jumps in with the Terrorize! The Terrorize! And
Boxing the Savior!
No! The anchor out in time, the dead in the water guaranteeing the kill, but now Liquid fighting back. Talon, they will only get the Windrunner back in time. Makoto is still on the sideline for 15 seconds, so even if Liquid take the fight very deep, there's not much they can do. They'll try now for Insania. The Shackle actually does connect onto him, but he's still alive, needs a little bit more damage.
He's
but
protecting his
Natsumi,
support.
he can't quite reach him. All of a sudden, Jokum, he just respawned. It looks like he'll take a second death. The Saberlight up to the high ground will go down, but careful now. Makoto's respawning. Insania, he will pay for that with his own life as Makoto from the high ground dealing some damage. Saberlight brings him on down, but the blink back up thanks to the refraction charges. Mickey and Saber still fighting here on the footsteps of the high ground, realizing that they are simply too tanky.
That was such a long, dragged out fight, And eventually Storm loses his life. His BKB is on cooldown. Yeah, but that was a very, very messy fight, But you could see like the DK starting to get online, He's very, very powerful against the TA. And the Timber with the slows. When he's on the Dragon form with range. He's just
spicy
getting
rune
tighter,
right there.
Non-stop. And the DK is also doing a lot of damage with the vacuum, Just pulling them into that splash damage from the DK.
Yeah, here's another look at that fight. Oh, this is the kill onto the Storm.
Yeah, BKB still on cooldown, but it was a very nice fear there by Boxy there, just buying them some time here. And the DK is coming in from the side. You know, he doesn't really have anything to worry about, so just cleaning everything up. And meanwhile, they're back to the fight.
Yeah, they've actually forced Bryle's BKB. He will zip completely down bottom. I didn't see.
Yeah, they were trying to kill Mikoto. Mikoto somehow manages to blink out, so he's alive. That's what TA player does to you, you know. One moment you think that he's dying, the next moment he's out.
Oh, BKB's already. Hook shot. Nice shot there from Cuckoo. The vacuum mode to interrupt does end up clipping Cuckoo. He doesn't have a way down.
Kill shot.
Gets a kill on the Boxy. I saw a couple of BKBs get purchased here, by the way. What? Saberlight has his ready, and Mickey has his BKB at the ready. In they go now onto Mickey. Natsumi's taking a ton of damage, and this is going to be his own BKB. He has a Ravage in 10 seconds now, as there's Bryle zipping in onto Cuckoo, puts him in the grave. Saberlight also BKBs for this, though, as the Shackle connects onto two. That sets up WS beautifully here. Insania setting up defensively now. It's the Ravage out from Natsumi, but no one can hit the egg. They will take down Saberlight at the very least, but it'll come at the life of Natsumi. He actually gets a glimmer away. They instead focus for the kill onto Mikoto. He is taken down. WS gets the kill onto Mickey, though. So it's still not a terrible fight, as they're going to still look for more. The Amplify damage rune on the Storm does not dissuade him. Natsumi sitting on the side, did not actually hit the Anchor Smash, only threw out the dead in the water, and Bryle finally released, jumps back onto Natsumi here. The hard carry, the Glimmer Cave saves his life for now, as Insania chasing him down with the Sun Ray, and down goes the Kraken. On the side of the fight, Bryle regenning, maybe thinks he can go back on in onto WS, will do so now as the control and all of these brambles sets up Bryle for the easiest kill here. 26 galvanized stacks, the regen rune running. What a fight for Bryle. What a game, what a series.
AD rune, the rune of destiny, but for Storm, regen is the rune of destiny. They're just turning the whole fight around with that regen. But then again, you know, it was also a very good fight by Talon initially, being able to somehow survive and fight through the egg and just killing off the DK there after the BKB expired.
Dude,
with
the shackles.
Doing, yeah, the shackles as well, you know, two-man shackles. But just eventually, after the Storm got really lucky with the rune, I think there was just no way for them to come back from that point.
That was one of the most brilliant shackle shots I've ever seen, because Jokum, you know, he shot the shackle as the BKBs were still up but expiring. So when Storm and Saberlight came out of BKB, they were both shackled to you already. It's the start of the replay, right? Because they were both running around with their 9-second BKBs in the fight. So excellent spell casting here, but unfortunately they really have some problems against the Supernova, don't they? Team fight's just not all there.
Yeah, I mean, your TA is the only realistically the real hero to hit it, but he doesn't have BKB, and there's so many things.
Team fight,
so many
breaking out. Jokum sat out front. Natsumi, he's destroying the wards, but the backing down to the low ground. They will at least get Jokum out to safety as the hook shot from Cuckoo protecting him against Bryle, but Bryle, he is relentless. Picks up
Natsumi,
another stack of the Galvanize as Natsumi, his BKB wears off, focused and finished off by Mickey.
Can't run away from the Frost Dragon.
Yeah, and WS, he couldn't get through the darn brambles, controlled by Boxy seemingly throughout that whole fight. Roshan now open for Liquid. Seems like Talon will not be able to contest it here without the quote-unquote carry Tidehunter.
Is this a freebie, Cuckoo? Is this Cuckoo's fault, Richie?
This one might be his fault. Yeah, that one he was trying to go for a little cheeky steal. Didn't have hook shot though. You know, you can't blame him too much for that one, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't. Can never blame Cuckoo, you know. Or can you, you know, Richie? Some may say,
you know, some
always
people they can only blame him. Some people can't blame him at all. Boxy, I don't think he lives here, unfortunately for him. Oh, the Force Staff? Oh my god, no way. He's gonna live the terrorized WS. It's just a freebie. Boxy, you gamer. WS, he can't believe it. And Boxy, he's ice in his veins. He says, call. I call. All in. Another one.
Yeah, he called a pair of aces.
You pocket rockets. Oh my goodness. The man, he's just undeniable. He's just playing a fantastic game. Boxy he always wows me on the spellcasters, doesn't he? You know.
Yeah, he's very good at spellcasting, and he's also very good at reading and anticipating the game. You know, so he kind of knows sometimes something that's about to happen, and he's able. You think like he's reacting quickly, but he's actually just reading the situation. He knows it's gonna happen. He knows which tree the timber is gonna go to, so he can read it well and dodge it.
4 staff out.
And now
he
Liquid
is
in a very commanding position in this game right now.
Choke him.
Brawl,
No
another
escape.
kill, another stack.
Yeah, it seems that way. Choke him.
Seems like it's gonna take a while.
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be a
no
long
TP
kill.
scroll though, so Jokum. Oh, well, Brile just ignore him. The greatest insult.
Let him live.
The greatest insult to supports. Yeah, you're useless. You can't TP. Oh, you cut my wave? That's a death penalty though. That's a spanking. that's not. You can't get away with that one now.
Yeah, you can't do that. There are rules, you know. There's always
Okay.
lines.
Hold on, that's pretty good. He actually burned a lot of mana off of Brile. Didn't nuke the full wave. Meanwhile, back in the base, there's a team fight happening. Okay, not Sumi. Taking sound for now. Blink Dagger in 3 seconds along with a Ravage. WS, he's going to find his way into that fight as Saberlight avoids that auto attack. He's just A-okay for now. But that's the Elder Dragon form expired.
No Dragon
Natsumi.
Form. Have to run.
Yeah, he's
That's
trying
the
to
retreat.
chase.
Retreat
Looking
button.
for an opening, but they just can't find one.
Yep, Talon smell the blood. They have to chase. DK has no form. He's just a man now. He's not a
There
dragon.
he is. They finally get on a Jokum though. Brile, he's denied the kill, but Brile, BKB's chasing after, but his team's losing the fight around him. Brile, oh, he's gonna TP away under the cover of the BKB as Saberlight runs into a safety corner. A nice blink up to the high ground, but you cannot run from this Timber Saw. Oh, is he gonna live here? The silence, the shackle shot again, somehow connecting, sets up for WS. Twisted Chakram picks up the kill. Liquid, they get the tier 3 tower winter, but it does come at a bit of a cost.
Yeah, Talon just reacting very well there with the DK form being down, so they have like around 20-30 seconds to make a play there, and they made it count. They got 2 kills, so that's gonna buy them some time to get more items on the TA. I mean, at the same time, like I'm trying to think, you know, like what item realistically is just going to change the game for the TA right now. He already has the BKB, and all she needs now is just more damage, right? I guess maybe a Daedalus, just something to just allow her to burst heroes.
You don't think they could use a nullifier
Brooch,
here in this
do you
game?
think he wants a nullifier? So for the Surge and
Yeah, for the Surge, for the Euls, the 4 staffs.
yeah, I still think that just raw damage output, right? I'm not sure if the Brooch will be good here against the DK, so he can cut through the armor.
Because the argument I'm making is it seems like WS is able to pump damage out when he can be involved in the fight, right? And it seems
So you
to
don't
me
need
like
to, you're saying you don't need to all in on the TA as your
maybe.
sole damage.
Well, I'm not so sure, right? Because you do have a tied carry, right? So I would think your lockdown and stuff is taken care of, but maybe that's not the case. Makoto, either way, he will be going into that Daedalus. There's food for thought, you know. I don't disagree with you, but I always like proposing an alternative. The Dota builds are one of my favorite things in Dota. Seeing how these pros itemize and, you know, how they think about the game, what solutions they need, right?
It's like a puzzle, right? You're trying to solve a puzzle all the time.
But a quiet period here as Liquid, they will continue to farm out the rest of this first Aegis. It's expiring now here in 10 seconds as they will now focus on the Tormentor, who doesn't have a shard is the question. The Clock or the Timber, sorry, Insania or the DK, I was looking at the wrong team, and it'll go towards Insania. So excellent upgrade for him as that Aegis is reclaimed.
Yep, meanwhile, Brawl.
It's a Storm getting initiated on as Cuckoo able to escape for now. Storm, though, he persists, and that's a really nice Curse Crown stun. Mickey jumping on in as Jokum. All he can do is just stun up Brile. Mickey with the kill there. That's Brile. By the way, 31 Galvanized stacks, 8-1 and 17. I mean, not the flawless game, but very close to it, I would say, as Natsumi evades a death there by Mickey. Pings here over in the mid lane. That's Talon farming in the triangle. With getting set up here potentially for next row. Should be playing for another pickoff. That's Daedalus completed now on Makoto, and Mickey is showing in the bottom wave. They're going to open up with the Ravage 4-on-1 situation, and Mickey caught off guard. He's a bit upset there, maybe misread the map, but a nice move by Talon. You can see from the reaction, they're really not expecting that. I mean, who does expect a Ravage from Fog, I suppose? Push now from Talon, though. Signs of life from them here is Natsumi blinking forward here, but that Ravage on cooldown for another minute and a half. By the way, Kraken Swell up to 34 damage block for Natsumi, so, you know, it's starting to build a little bit.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Talon pushing again, another tier 2 tower here. They fall so fast here with the TA, who's approaching that level 25 talent. Probably will end up seeing the refraction instances. Give her a lot more survivability here. But still, again, the team fight has been more problematic. When Liquid have been able to string the team fight together, the spell casting, especially by Boxy and Insania this game, has proved superb. But Talon proving they still have the damage. They still have moves to be made this game. That's a Scythe of Ice picked up now by Natsumi. Keep your eye on that one. Very utility-based build here on that Tidehunter. But for now, both teams, again, settling into a little bit more of a farming pattern. Talon, again, moving with confidence, but it is going to be Roshan as the next decider. He will basically guaranteed spawn back bottom. It's just a matter of when. We used to be able to tell you with certainty, but after the latest update, we're in the same position as the players. We have no idea when he respawns. Does anyone care? How are our cooldowns? Cooldowns are back now for Natsumi. So I assume teams don't really mind if it's now or later. Well, an Amplified Damage rune certainly gives Talon a nice reason to fight now. But Liquid holding very defensively deep in their own jungle. Scan sees Talon safely into the triangle area of Liquid as Insania shooting some fire spirits. Careful here, the initiation. It's beautiful. They actually catch the storm. Bryle, he will take a slow... No, what? How did he live? Bryle escaping death, the stand-in miracle. I'm not... What the heck happened? There were 5 heroes around him. I need to see a replay of that one. I thought for sure he was dead to rights, but he just zips away all of a sudden. Talon left without a Ravage. Fortunately, they didn't use BKBs. What happens here? I don't even know what to say. Lincoln's, I suppose, coming in clutch there. He just refuses to die. And now Liquid seizing the opportunity. Seizing the opportunity here to look for Roshan, number 2 in this game. Trying to find a 2-0 in their opening series here at ESL One Raleigh. Find the kill as Boxy. He'll lead them forward here with the Smoke of Deceit. Jokum, he'll see him. Of course, immediately into the Shadow Realm, setting up for this first kill. Jokum trying to bait him up onto the high ground. There's going to be a 3-man vacuum. Makoto, he gets off at least the BKB, trying to fight back into this one, but Natsumi awkwardly standing around, can't do much through the BKB without a Ravage. Cuckoo and company being burned alive as Makoto finally focused down by Bryle. Look at how they ignore Natsumi. WS trying to do as much damage as he can. As you can see, Bryle routing the supports from the fight. Cuckoo finished off over on the other side, and Mickey is beating the crap out of these heroes. So much damage. The Yule Scepter now onto Natsumi. Buybacks, though, out of Talon. They think they can try and take this fight here. There goes Makoto trying to burst through Boxy. Does pick up the kill, but Natsumi dying to the physical damage. Bryle, he zips in deep. He's low on mana here with 34 Galvanized charges. Certainly he can't play like that, right? Boxy, even from the grave, proving to be too tanky. No! Stopped by the anchor. Leashed up. He will die as Cuckoo unable to connect there. on that hook shot. The slow, though, gives vision that they need. That's a level 25 talent there on WS. He jumps on forward aggressively. There, it's going to drop the supernova now as Jokum, he just burns alive. They're all burning alive. WS able to escape. Cuckoo on his buyback here, still alive, but has set up at least the cogs there. Natsumi thinks he can jump in. He actually has a Ravage ready to go again. That's the buyback now out from the Darkseer. Finds Makoto the perfect target, but there's the Ravage. No one has the BKBs. Where's the follow-up damage? In it comes from WS as Makoto able to put the damage down on the Saberlight before he scythed up, and now unleashed in the fight. Talon, they pick up 5 there with the dieback on Saberlight, but they fail to catch up to Mickey. Talon Esports was a lot more fight in this game too than I thought they had, Winter.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you know, they took full advantage of the Dragon Form, right? Once they kited it out, it ended. They know that it's their time to jump, right? But yeah, the Timber ran up. He dies to the Phoenix Egg, but they're still able to finish off the fight, you know, with the Darkseer buying back. I mean, the DK without form is just a time for you to strike, you know, if you're Talon. If you can somehow kite the fight, drag it out, make sure that the DK is not killing off your whole team during the form, and you stand to have a good chance to win the fight. And Boxy, he's going in, the DK has formed now.
Mickey. Yeah, Mickey, he's just in. The Roshan attempt interrupted, but that's the BKB from Mickey. They did not actually capture the outpost, so the buyback there of Insania scaring them off for now. I think they caught a glimpse here of Natsumi, also up to level 25, but Makoto, he bought back for that engagement to look so good. Really wanted to get a hold of this Aegis, Winter. Will be denied it, though. A huge opening, a win condition for Team Liquid here in Game 2.
Yeah, that was very, very clutch, you know, coming in from the back there by Boxy with the Terrorize and a DK. Now Brawl has the Aegis, and how are you going to be able to kill him twice? Yeah, you have to drag out the fight so much if you're Talon right now. Try to force out the BKBs with the dead in the water from the tide and just keep poking and prodding. It's not going to be an easy task, but they do have like a huge amount of damage from the Timber, right? If they kite them out, waste their BKBs, and Timber has a chance to kill them.
Yeah. It seems to me like this Tide is a little bit of a walking Ravage now. He's gone for the 25 talent of the Ravage stun duration. He's got the Scythe. Like, I don't really know what we expected him to do otherwise, you know?
Now he's off lane. I told you from the start.
It's just, it's so funny seeing Natsumi just be ignored in the fights, I have to say. It's not something you're used to seeing the hard carry like that. On the supports, sure. Happens all the time.
Once you get Refresher, I don't know if he can be ignored, you know? Like if he lands like 2 Ravages, 2 Hexes.
Yeah.
I think your Storm is, I mean, if he doesn't have Aegis, he's going to die for sure, you know, in the team fights.
Well, Storm does have the Aegis this time around here for Bryle. He's pretty close to buyback as well. 500 gold. He may manage to farm that up. Buyback situation for Talon here as they look at a high ground defense is much, much thinner. Right now, only Natsumi having the buyback. Notably, Makoto, he's on cooldown for another 4 minutes. What's he building into here with this Eagle Song, though? Is it a Butterfly? It's a Swift Blink. So that upgrade will be coming rather soon.
Yeah, he wants to just go in and burst the hero right away. I think ideally he kills the Phoenix if they can hex with the Tide and the TS goes in and kills.
Phoenix, by the way, with a Refresher Shard online.
Yeah, Phoenix is a huge problem. With the Refresher Shot, with the Hex, with the double egg.
Yeah, super annoying. He did buy back, though, so that's, you know, I wouldn't say a win condition, but it's a fight win condition here. As Talon continue to try and stall out this second Aegis.
Talon definitely have to kill the supporting cast from Liquid. Look out,
careful, WS. Boxy's hunting you. This is Boxy's territory. You might not know it. Bryle. Quick zip on over. WS. Get the courier out. That's going to be the Swift Blink for Makoto. They have vision up here again.
Sees them.
Yeah. They want to jump here. Cuckoo. Giving the vision as well with the Rocket Flare. Blink, Hex, Ravage at the ready for Natsumi. With the Refresher, he's bought out. He's bought out here on the Tide. Double Ravage is coming. WS maybe trying to bait them into a bad engagement. But Liquid showing more restraint than that.
I mean, the Storm has Aegis. Like, I feel like he doesn't mind tanking like the Refresher right now. If you have to use double Ravage to kill the Storm, double Hex, double Ravage, I think you tank it, you know, if you're Liquid.
Ooh, picked up by Mika in time. Saber looking for the counter initiation. They're on top of Natsumi here. He's got a BKB. He's got double Ravage. But there's going to be the Scythe device number 1 on a Mikoto. The punch is the normal punch. Mikoto activates the BKB. The Ravage, everything dropped. But everyone's BKB. Supernova is owning them. And there's the refresh.
Second egg.
The Ravage is just not accomplishing much, but it doesn't at least allow Mikoto to live another day. Natsumi down for the count, though. Down good for 90 seconds. Oh, no. And Kuku caught trying to TP away in the mid lane. That might
Yeah, I
just
mean,
be it,
they
Winter.
can't afford to go onto the storm. I mean, that was also very smart by Liquid that they placed the banner to give vision, so they were able to get that awesome initiation with the Phoenix there. Getting the Hex, getting the egg, and the second egg there. That's definitely sealed
Jump in,
Talon's fate in the
Saberlight,
fight.
quick control on a Mikoto. He gets the blink away thanks to the refraction. And this is Talon at 25. Ryle, low on mana, but again, he's got this Aegis, so he can play confidently and has the backing of his full team. As Team Liquid, they may just look for the game-ending push now, assaulting the Tier 4 towers. WS, he's pushing out that wave top lane, trying to do anything he can to extend the game duration, but Mikoto, he's being routed away in the trees. A third hero dead now, no buyback. WS, he just TPs right in. What else could he do? BKB available in 8 seconds, just trying to buy as much time as he can, but Mikoto is not making the jump in, Winter. I think this one is all but over.
Yep. I mean, they put up a good fight, Talon considering the position they were in. But, yep, I'm afraid this is the end for them, Clockwork's gonna be alive, but there's nothing you can do, 2 versus 5, the Clock and the TA. This Dragon, this
Ravages
Blue
won't be
Dragon is
ready
way
here.
too scary.
I think it's over, Winter. Ryle, he will end this game 34 galvanized stacks, 12, 2, and 20. An absolute game from him. Nika as well, 12, 4, and 15. It's only going to get worse. Talon, they'll throw their bodies on the line, try and do anything they can, but all they do is improve Ryle to 14, 2, and 20. What a game. What a series here from Liquid, huh?
Yep, very, very nice series, especially in this game, Brawl